This is the 5 Point Play Podcast, the Die Hard Duke basketball fans podcast on our main man, Brian. In DC, right? You're in DC, so you're fresh off the game.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Media man Horace.
Yeah. So we got a special guest for this one, and then we got the other five, right? We got AC, the Godfather, DH, who apparently came with a thesis statement tonight. Jack, Jack's in the building. Up, he may lose power up in Philly. Who knows? And then Coach P. The P may stand for pause tonight. It may stand for preacher. We're not sure. But we got a lot to talk about, Brian. And for this one, normally after a big game, I'll go on some kind of rant. And we get a lot of fans, especially after we lose. We get a lot of fans. I don't think we're going to have as many viewers tonight just because they don't want to hear anything we got to say after we knocked off the number one team in the nation in DC. So, Brian, I'm just going to hand you the mic and I'm going to let you roll.
Yeah, man, the atmosphere. It was different. It was. I mean, I've been to many games in Cameron. I did not expect it to be so lit in DC. I mean, both fan bases were loud. It was crazy. That arena has never been that loud. And I've been to Wizards games. I've been to Georgetown games. I've been to concerts there. It was jumping. The whole thing was just jumping. And to see Michigan with that look in their eyes, like we about to get beat. It's a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing.
Yeah, AC, you were there as well. From your perspective, yeah, I kind of agree. Just from a outsider's perspective on TV, everything backs up what Brian said. What was kind of your feeling? Obviously, getting into the stadium, but
Mhm.
during the game, it had to feel like a true March Madness feel.
Oh, you felt like you were at a Final Four game from the minute you were in the city, like crossing over the bridge, driving in, and then parking and everything, and coming up. Saw Colton Hiller in the elevator. Gave him a little "What's up, Duke?" He was like, "Yeah, I like Duke." I was like, "All right." He kept it cooking or whatever. But Brian was a lot closer to me, man, with the media seats and everything. I was up in the second section, not at the top, but in the second section with some Michigan fans. I was surrounded by Michigan fans everywhere I was. It was gross, but they were actually pretty cool, man. The Michigan fans are cool, but it's just the atmosphere in general, man. It was just it like the colors, like the everybody in the stands with like the maize and blue, the Duke blue, like just like the color contrast was cool. Like you said, man, it really had that Monday night NCAA tournament national championship game type feel about it, man. Just with the buzz and everything. Both fan bases, having faith in their team, like thinking their team's gonna win. You could see the life go out of the Michigan fans' eyes in that second half when we just kept them at bay, just at arm's length, holding them out the whole time. They could just never make every Elliot Cadeau three. The life just drained out of their eyes. It was beautiful, man. It was beautiful. It was beautiful.
Speaking of beautiful, Jack, you ran the post-game spaces for us at the 5 Point Play
I thought
podcast.
you were just
So,
gonna say I was beautiful, TK. Thank you.
well, I'm gonna let Pablo do that. But yeah, no, what was the sentiment after the game, just on the Twitterverse?
DDMF. That's it. Everyone was hyped. That did, like AC said, feel like a Monday night tournament game, which they only play one of those every year.
Hmm.
That was just I could feel it through the TV. The energy was unmatched. I honestly, as much as I really wish I could have been there, I feel like it's kind of best for my cardiac health that I wasn't, which is something I said on the spaces. It was an insanely good game. Everyone kind of felt that, like, everyone's like, it's great that we won, but like even taking, like, putting that aside, that was a great basketball game. And I think, people really, the main thing people were taking away was John Shire can coach. Like, John Shire can really coach, and he knows exactly what to capitalize on in any given situation. That was the biggest takeaway, I think, that anyone had in the spaces. DH, you were there the whole time as well. Can you back
Yeah.
me up on that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's interesting the tale of multiple games, right? We have spaces pretty consistently, and the contrast between the Carolina loss and this win couldn't have been more different. I mean, conversations about what Shire did or didn't do, conversations about what Pat did and didn't do or couldn't do because he was in foul trouble, and then just the switch flip of a lot of us who just were happy to get a win, man. It's you know, I would say this is probably one of the marquee, probably one of the top three wins in the John Shire era, and it felt like that in the spaces, and it probably felt like that coming after the game, just for me personally. I mean, my kid and I were jumping around the living room. He was crying tears of joy. It was great.
I mean,
Uh,
that's the first number one victory for Shire, right? That's the first time he beat a number one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
has he had any other opportunities
I was
before
about to
I
say,
don't
I
it
don't
think
was the
know if
so.
he.
first time that
Right,
we
yeah.
faced
Yeah.
a
I don't think
number
so.
one
Yeah.
Oh,
since Gonzaga.
wasn't Auburn?
Oh,
Wasn't Auburn one when
Was
we beat
Auburn
them?
number one?
No,
No,
Or
I
they
think
number
they
no,
were. I think
they
they
were
were
two when we
two.
played them, right?
yeah, there were two, I believe.
I don't
But,
give a fuck. I'm saying they won. I don't care.
yeah. But
Anyway,
but yeah, Pobbs. I mean, I kind of wanted to go to you last because obviously we had Ant Wright on the podcast before the Michigan game,
yeah,
and this isn't any shade at Ant. He's backing up his team, but that was kind of the overall sentiment going into that game was that Duke has little to no chance of winning this game, which I found kind of crazy. I really did. I mean, I thought it was going to be a close game throughout. It was. What were your true feelings going into that game? You knew Michigan was a really good team. They are a really good team.
yeah. I mean, I think they. I mean, they're good. I mean, I can't take anything away from them,
Right.
but I think they're a little hyped up. You know what I'm saying? I think they hyped up a little bit too much, and I think that honestly, I think it just kind of all the games they've played is kind of it gave them that air of confidence and it showed in some of their players. You know what I mean? They thought they was gonna come out and just have an easy game. You know what I mean? And so when Duke slapped the shit out of them, they were like, wait a minute. Hold on, this is a little harder than I thought it was going to be. You know what I'm saying? They were like, wait a minute, okay, we really
Hey,
can't
yo.
score on this defense. You know
Pause.
what I'm saying?
Whoa.
Like they played against a team that's just as good or even better at them in certain things, and they were like, oh fuck. You know what I'm saying? This ain't Purdue out here. You know what I mean? These are some dudes. You know what I'm saying? These dudes are a little darker and they run a little faster. They got a little more. You know what I'm saying? They got a little bit more talent. They're a little taller.
Yeah.
They're a little stronger, and that's just real. You know what I'm saying? Like I
Mhm.
mean, I think that I think Michigan is a great team, but I think Duke is a great team. And it's funny because my boy is an assistant on Michigan. You know what I mean? So I gotta torture him a little bit. Pause. You know what I'm saying? Shooting some text messages or whatever. But no, I mean it was just a heavyweight matchup, man, and we saw what it was. You know, I mean, if you ever doubted Duke and think that Duke couldn't win a national championship, they showed you that they could beat
Mhm.
anybody. I mean, anybody could be beat. You know what I'm saying? But they showed you. I think they did a good job of dispelling a lot of rumors and myths and just narratives about the team, and you know we saw what happened, man.
Yeah, Brian, I felt real comfortable going into that game for some reason. I just kind of felt like there was a lot of disrespect being thrown at Duke, and whether it was the late game, Duke doesn't know how to close stuff, or John, his team doesn't have enough depth in the front court, whatever it was. I just felt like that's the perfect thing for a John Shire coach team, especially a team that has Cameron Boozer, who's far and away the player of the year. And when other people try to say, "Oh, I think he's shrinking a little bit," but who's going to be the player of the year? It may not be a runaway for Cam Boozer. I thought this was the perfect setup for this this particular Duke team. What were your feelings going into the game?
Going into the game, I knew it would be, a close game, but like I looked at who Michigan had played, and I don't mean this in any kind of racial stereotype type of way, but like Duke is not a bunch of
Course.
corn-fed white dudes named Rusty Wallace. It's different out here, and
It
I think
is.
Michigan realized that they weren't playing Ezekiel from Iowa, and it's different. They don't get a large taste of that. And I think Duke was like, all right, let's show them what a front court can do.
Ezekiel.
DH, I know you got a lot to say, so
I mean,
you got a lot to
it's
get off your chest here.
it's
Get,
really
get,
not a
in
lot to
the,
get off
get,
my
in
chest.
the, get in the kitchen, DH.
Listen,
I was
man.
told there was a
in a
thesis.
five court team.
One for ISO. One for ISO. I do have my notes up.
Uh-oh.
I think the thing that I just want to mention is that I love being right, and I love when this podcast is right because so many conversations and narratives were had prior to the game that Michigan had already kind of shown their maximum potential. and I don't think people really realize how good Duke was. I think the first thing, I got 13 things here. The first of which is,
Yes, go.
yeah, 13 things. I have Michigan was not inevitable. I mean, it's something that we talked about when Ant Wright was here. Shout out to Ant. I wish he had to come to the spaces so he could have atoned for his foolishness. Uh, but he was running his own spaces after the game, so we'll give him
Running his own
we'll give
spaces
him
or
a
running
pass.
away from ours?
I mean, ¿por qué no los dos, man? Why not both? Um, Michigan was not inevitable. Going into the game, I felt as though Michigan was great, but a lot of the things that they were able to do to other teams, I just knew that Duke was not going to allow them to do the same things. If nothing else, if nothing else but tempo, it's much easier. I mean, there's a saying in basketball: it's much easier to slow a game down than it is to speed a game up. And I think that Duke has all season been great at controlling tempo. The second thing I think is relevant to this podcast. We talked a lot about. I wrote down the 5-out offense validity and how it can neutralize bigs across the country. There was a lot of conversation earlier in the year when it wasn't looking great about the validity of the 5-out offense. I mean, we talked about on this podcast a lot of the conversations and narratives on Spaces and other places is 5-out offense the offense that Duke should be running? And I think that this team does not win this game, and likely other games like it going into March and April, hopefully, if it doesn't have the 5-out offense. Because one of the things that I mentioned in Spaces and other places was the way that Cam, Pat, and Malik pass the basketball, you stretch the floor by either having great shooters or great passers at the 5. And so because Duke was so good in picking up power actions with the pass, Mara had to lift up. And so when Mara was in the high post trying to guard even 2 steps off of Pat, you saw so many backdoor cuts. I mean, Duke won the points in the paint battle. They won the rebounding battle. Like, Duke beat Michigan at its own game. The third thing is that a lot of conversations were had at the beginning of the year about who takes PG1, Caleb or Caden, and at that time, a lot of our conversation for this podcast was it's not a matter of either or, it's a matter of both. It's about what kind of production can you get from that spot. And both Caden and Caleb were both incredibly effective in their roles the other night. The fourth thing I had was Damian Cadeau. I mentioned this on Twitter. A lot of people mentioned this. And they're like, nah, no way. He needs to be on Yaxel. Isaiah's going to get exposed. And I was like, nah, Duke is going to be Duke. John has a coaching ego, and he's not going to go out without playing his style. Fifth thing, my Nick Hamenia stock is in a wonderful place. My Nick Hamenia stock is in a wonderful place right now. Yeah, it might be getting a little high. So if you guys want to get in on this, man, you might want to go ahead and purchase the Nick Hamenia stock because I don't think Duke wins without Nick. 6, Duke's offense versus Michigan's defense. Duke runs so many actions in quick succession. And I think that's why I told everyone to be patient at the beginning of the year, because it took those very ugly games of Duke having to figure out what the next flow was, how to share spacing with Pat and Cam and on the block, what is the next action on the offside. And I think we showed a lot of that progression against Michigan, and having to guard so many actions with so many dangerous players put stress on any defense, even the number 1 defense in the country. And Duke picked them apart, got down the stretch because of that. Duke is more than Cam Boozer. I was right. We were right. Duke was well prepared for everything that Michigan presented from a matchup perspective, and everything that Michigan did. Michigan didn't do a whole lot in the half court. Duke did a great job of controlling tempo and didn't allow them to get out in transition, which was fantastic. I was right about John versus Dusty being the matchup of the night because John coached circles around Dusty. I think that's an easy call, so I was right about that.
That was play calling porn.
He did some nasty things to Dusty May, man.
That was some Sarah
that's no
J.
disrespect to Dusty.
Sure.
Don't get me wrong, but Dusty hadn't faced those moments this year. And I think John has had the opportunities over the course of several years now, frankly, but even this year to figure out what works. And he was a mastermind. Tempo we talked about. A lot of conversation, if y'all remember, earlier in the season was John is great, but he's not a great X and O coach. That was a lot of the national narrative, was that John wasn't an X and O coach. And I'm like, y'all are drunk. I'm drunker than me right now. Salud. And 12, Duke has plenty of guard play to get it done in big games. We have gamers at the backcourt positions. Even though if Isaiah wasn't efficient, Isaiah was good last night, particularly on defense. He held his own against Yaxel in a way that I didn't think that he was going to be able to, particularly in second half. And Duke has the guard play to get it done in big games. And that's something we said on this podcast. And finally, Duke doesn't need to hit double-digit threes to beat anybody. They hit the same amount of threes as Michigan on 6 less attempts. And Duke won the paint battle, won the rebounding battle.
By a lot.
By a lot. And won the points in the paint. The only thing we didn't win was turnovers, and they weren't pick sixes. So I love that this podcast is right, and I love being right.
You deserve that drink for sure. Brian, he obviously touched on a lot of different points there that I see you, Pops. That we could go to, but I wanted to start with the John Shire one because he obviously it's something I've seen a lot on Twitter, and I'm sure you have as well. That John Shire, for the life of him, is never going to win Coach of the Year, whether that's ACC or National Coach of the Year. But at least now after that game, that's what it took. That game is what it took for people like Andy Cass to start waking up and saying, "Oh, you know what? Maybe we should give him a look." All he's done in the last 2 years, 58-6. Maybe we should give him a look. But also on the X's and O's front, he's more than a recruiter. He didn't. Everyone likes to talk about. I think you guys talked about on the last podcast that he starts on third base. He didn't start on third base. He had to build an entirely, completely different roster outside of one Jeremy Roach. So he's doing that through.
I'm not going to stand for this Hubbard disrespect.
But one rotational player, Jack. So just give a little bit of credence to
Jalen Blake's also exists.
All right, Jalen Blake. Give a little bit of credence to what John Shire is as a coach between the lines, because obviously everybody knows how great of a recruiter he is, but what he does just from an X's and O's perspective.
Yeah, for me, John has always been that. He was a cerebral player. And he has funneled that into being he had to be, he wasn't the most athletic guard out there. I mean, he plays like he coaches,
He was an Ezekiel.
He's white and left, man. Come on.
I'm just saying, like he wasn't dunking over people. He used his brain to win games, and he's doing that now as a coach. I mean, he's getting a little bit of respect, which this respect he should have had before. Everyone thought, well, he's a recruiter, so he can't be both. But I think that's lazy people. That's people that choose narrative over reality, and it's easier to choose a narrative than it is to look at what's happening in front of you, especially when it's Duke, because people just hate Duke. And that's, Shire has been that. Having known him sort of, not like personally close, but like I've met him and I've talked with him, and he is the most competitive motherfucker there is. Mm-hmm. This dude will not let you walk faster than him in the hallway. Like everything is a challenge, like everything. So he takes everything personally, even though he's like, I don't listen to no, he listens to everything. And he takes, you can tell in the post games when he's talking about the close game stuff, how would he have known that was a narrative if he ain't out there listening to everything? He does. And he takes it personally. Yeah. And if people say he's not an X and O coach, he's going to go above and beyond to prove to you that he is the X and O coach. It's only going to get worse for teams from here. Because John is only in year 4?
Year 4 and he's 38.
When he's young, year 6, it's a wrap for some of y'all. It's a wrap for some of y'all.
Yeah, and AC, that's really it, because, some of the diehard Duke basketball fans like us, like we knew long before he was selected to be the heir apparent of how good he was in the huddle.
Yeah.
But kind of go talk about that a little bit and expand on what Brian said as well. Just because that's what honestly made me so comfortable going into that game. I'm like, John Shire's taking this shit personally.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the dude takes everything personal, like Brian said. Super competitive. Him and Nolan Smith didn't talk to each other for a week over a video game when they were teammates. Like it's stuff like that, man. But you like that, especially in a competitive sport where you want to be at the top. You have to be that way. You have no choice, and he's wired like that. So it's it's great that he's our leader. Obviously, not only got to learn under K, but K gave him the freedom to design a lot of things for his offenses towards the end of his career. John was the architect for the game plan against UVA, some of the other top teams that we played at the end of K's tenure. So always one of the top scouts, all those types of things. So he handles those things. Like when we lost Jay Lucas, it was like, oh no, our defense is gonna be terrible now. It's like, nah, like John's the head coach. Like this is his design. Jay's running it. Like the next guy steps up, it'll be just fine. So it couldn't have been a better pick, home run pick. All the Coach K tour haters out there and stuff, the final farewell tour and all the other stuff. I hope y'all see the credence behind it, because you can see some of these other programs how they've taken a step back. Except for UNC, because Hubert Davis is the best coach in the ACC, but that's fine.
Excellent.
But,
Lifetime
outside
extension.
of that,
Hashtag
outside of that, I do want to say too, man. I think, like you said, I think this Michigan game might have opened the door for him, at least in ACC Coach of the Year talks. And then some of the other coaches in the ACC losing some games down the stretch may also help his case. I mean, Miami just lost the other night to UVA. I kind of think that puts Ryan Odom in the forefront of the Coach of the Year race. But if Duke goes out there and just beats that ass, like, does that give John a couple extra votes from the writers? I don't know. I don't know if it does or not. But, if Duke happens to win out the rest of the season, then it looks kind of silly on the conference to pick anybody else. Quite honestly, it makes your conference look kind of weak if you pick anybody else other than him as your Coach of the Year. So keep that in mind, voters. But not that they're watching the show. But if you are, keep that in mind. But I don't know, man. He's the best coach in the conference, and he's going to be the standard in the conference, and it's going to be while the conference continues to rise, because everybody has to get to his level.
Yeah, and obviously we've talked about this, but the Coach of the Year is not the best coach. It is.
It's congeniality of the year. Yeah,
we didn't expect anything from you, and you exceeded that expectation. Jack, let's get into the game just a little bit here. I thought that obviously Michigan, they punched early, but after that, I think they were kind of shell shocked that Duke didn't go down and quit, and I think that's kind of what a lot of has been said to open this podcast. I think that threw them for a loop, and then once Duke started punching back, they took control of the game. And while we were only up, 3, 2, 5 points, we led 65% of that game.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to give praise to the Duke defense. I don't know if this was the plan or not, but just basically forcing Lendeborg to be the only guy in the first half, and then icing everyone else, and then just completely denying him in the second half and making all the cold shooters and players try to score. Worked beautifully. It really did. Also, obviously taking advantage of all of the time you could with Mara on the bench, not even starting the second half. That was great. Just the rotational management that John had, everything. Hats off to Shire. Hats off to all the
shout
coaching.
out to who helped create all of that.
Nick probably did the best job on Yaxel of anyone.
The bowl cut,
Nick,
baby.
The 9 rebounds, the just incredibly just there. He's there, and he was there with a force. It was insane. I do also want to just talk about, read a couple of comments on our episode from last week really quickly. Is it okay if I do that, guys?
We're doing receipts.
Hold on, let me get you some music. Get him, Chad. Go ahead.
It's time.
Go ahead, Chad.
Hell yeah, Jack.
Go Blue! Hail to the victors.
What else you got?
According to Ant, Duke is pretty much dog food. Yaxel is going to be a problem. He's the difference. He's going to be a matchup nightmare. Duke's bigs outside of Booze average over 5 fouls per game. Soon as Ant brought up who's guarding Yax, the Duke guys started to realize how big of a challenge this is going to be. Michigan by 14-18. Duke want to play half court and they don't get back on defense. In parentheses, Duke. I smell trouble for Duke, for real. Can't match up and we going run. Gotta make every shot. Illinois is scarier than Duke for Michigan. They can stretch the floor at all 5 positions.
Something got stretched, all right.
Oh.
Yo,
No comment.
my brother in Christ.
Yeah, look, here we go. You asked for it. Y'all asked for the brow.
Yes,
Hold on,
sir.
hold on.
It's getting to be like a CBS receipt.
Real.
This is insane. This is just insane. Some great conversations. Oh, last one. I would like to bet all you guys some money. Michigan over Duke, easy.
Oh, his wallet's in shambles.
We will
Shambles.
post.
AC did respond to this comment and said, "Run me my money." Then
Well, I was going to say we're going to drop at the end of the episode the 5-point play Venmo account. So just
Yeah.
feel free.
all
to
proceeds go to the
all-
Hubert Davis
100%.
lifetime extension
Straight
fund.
to straight to the
This is a
extension fund.
nonprofit. This is a nonprofit podcast.
Yep. We don't take
Um,
any of it.
Pobs,
Sorry, TK. There's just
Yeah.
one more thing I want to talk about, and this is something I talk
Coach
about
Jack.
a lot on Spaces. It's just one play. We've already talked about it, but I want to talk about it again. It is out of the under 4 in the second half. Duke up 1 with the ball. The backdoor cut into the alley-oop from Pat to Isaiah with the back screen set by Cam Boozer.
Brilliant.
That play was it put Duke up 3 points, but that play was the dagger. The second that happened, I was like, Duke is winning this game, no problem. So I just want to say shout out to John for thinking about that, drawing that up, and just brilliant execution by the players.
yeah,
Also,
I mean, it
Duke
was
scored on every possession after the under 4 timeout. Every single
Yes.
one.
Every single one.
And
Against the number 1 defense in the country, y'all.
not
Not
anymore.
anymore.
and let us not forget that Michigan didn't score a field goal for like 10 minutes in the second half. I think the number was like 8 minutes and something.
But I was told that Yaxel
Pepperidge
Lendeborg
Farm,
is going
remember?
to destroy Duke's wings.
Yeah, no, don't worry.
And that's
Kelly
the
Cadeau was there
thing, right? Like, that's the brilliant part of it all, right? Because it wasn't like John drew up something elaborate. It was that he understood time, score, and circumstance. He understood when they stopped switching. And he had to roll the dice on it, right? Because they had been switching every flare
So that was
screen.
definitely a gamble.
Yeah, it's a gamble because they had been switching every flare screen up until that point. And then I think there was an ATO just prior to that where they kind of they actually switched everything, and it took Duke out of everything, and then they stopped switching all of a sudden because they knew that Cam, especially when Cam is a screener, you can't leave him because he's gonna get downhill and get you a foul. So for him to know that in that moment, like, he was excited. Like, I saw a video of like him like, all right, let's go. Hey, under 4, let's get to it. Like, he was like, okay, cool. I have a play ready for this moment. That's just like that permeates down to your players, man. That permeates down to belief and then the execution of even small things like on the off-ball Dame and Caleb side, he didn't even have it. Like, they did a little video. I mean, shout out to Nick Colosimo for social media to give us that access because you're not supposed to have inside huddle access for Duke. But just even small things like Caleb and Dame doing a quick exchange, like just communicating on the offside as a decoy to keep Yaxel and I think it might have been no, it wasn't Trey. It was their other defender kind of occupied so they wouldn't know what was coming. Like, that wasn't on the clipboard. That was just an understanding of what to do. I think it's the team, like, that's that like coach and player synergy that you kind of hope for at this point.
John was doing this. He was the marionette.
It's puppetry.
He was the puppeteer,
like,
man.
Every team doesn't get to that. Like, I mean, we've seen plenty of Duke teams and plenty of other teams that like don't have the I read coach's mind, I know what to do in this moment, even if he doesn't have to tell me thing. And I think you have to give both the team and Shire a ton of credit because that was the shift. Because they had scored, but they were on a 7-0 run at the time, right? Like that was it was a big deal. And Duke had like given up 2 offensive rebounds, and Yaxel hit 3, and it was like it felt reminiscent of other games. And then John just shut the door and said no shot.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a perfect play call, and what I loved about it was Caleb Foster when they're showing the clip, he's in the huddle and he's just like, "Yep, this is the play. It's not going to me," but he's like, "This is the play that's going to get this team
Leadership.
100%." And but Pops, I wanted to read off a couple numbers for you. 54, 54, 64, 63. Defense travels. That's the last 4 opponents' scores for Duke or against Duke, and Michigan averages over 90 points a game, and they were held to 63. And you can tell me all you want about, oh, well, we just missed the shots. No, you made some shots that were extremely contested at the beginning of the game, and then it's hard to keep that up. So, what did you do defensively in your mind to really take Michigan out of what they wanted to do pretty much the entire night?
Yeah, some
Busted
Michigan
the
fan
ass.
came at me like that.
But other than that, though, but like, see, it's the thing. Here's the thing, right? It's a thing called confidence, right? And so when you're playing on a team that normally just completely just runs people out the gym, you know what I mean? Like, you shoot better, you got more, more confidence, the swagger is up and all that. When you're playing against a team whose defense is, what I mean, stymieing you, and you can't do shit. That's why you had guys like Elliot Cadeau struggled. The guy off the bench struggled. McKinney struggled. Kason or whatever his name is, whatever the fuck his name is. He struggled. Everybody on the perimeter struggled with the exception of Yaxel. And I was really, really surprised that they didn't post Yaxel up more. I was really shocked at that. And that's where I feel like Michigan made a very, very, very big mistake at. But, defense.
They gave up on it earlier. He had 2 post-ups. He missed both shots, and they just gave up on it.
Yeah.
Just let him
And
shoot.
I felt like a lot of stuff that he got that was close to the rim was more so in transition. He would just pin the guy down there, get him a quick pass. He'll go up or whatever. I mean, he was too strong for our perimeter guys. You know what I mean? And it is what it is. We won the game, whatever. But, speaking defense, man, I mean, everything we did was just crisp. You know what I mean? Our rotations were there. You know what I mean? We stunted. We doubled. We helped. You know what I mean? We rotated. We did everything we were supposed to do, man. Like, everything we were supposed to do. Those guys, they were just locked in. I felt like they were just ready to play. They were like, they didn't want to let each other down, and they were gonna, do what they had to do to win the game, man. And it showed. Our defense isn't number 2 for no reason, or whatever the fuck it is. Isn't that, rated that high for no reason? It's not a fluke. I mean, this is something that John Shire does, and this is something that those kids do. And Michigan is just they're just the latest victim, man. And I don't think that I just really think that they underestimated Duke, man. They didn't expect to see something like that. You know what I mean? Because I think, it's different when you see the shit on video, but when you're playing against it, you're like, wait a minute. These dudes are
when you're smelling yourself.
Yeah.
When you're smelling yourself and you score 90 points a game and everybody tells you you're the best thing that's ever happened to basketball and everything else, like, you have no choice but to be like,
right. They
you have no choice but to go into every game and just say that, yeah, we got you too. We don't care about you. You heard what they said about Duke before the game. Like, yeah, we haven't seen anything. They're nothing like we haven't seen. Like, they said all that shit before the game. Like, and then after the game, they're like, oh, we've never seen anything like this before. Okay,
and that's what I think. There you go. Playing Duke is a little different than playing other teams because it's like, okay, now every possession counts.
Yeah.
Every turnover is going to count. Every timeout is going to count. Every shot you miss is going to count. So you're a little tighter already. Pause. You know what I'm saying? And then now, you throw it in that these motherfuckers is really guarding you. You know what I'm saying? Now now you really, don't know what the fuck to do. So it's like, hey, what am I supposed to do? We're not winning by 90 because I can shoot 12 3-pointers when we're up by 30 and not give a fuck. And I'll probably make half of them. You know what I'm saying? But they know that when you come down and you miss a 3-pointer against Duke, now you like, fuck. You know what I'm saying? Now we have to guard these guys because they're elite on the offensive end too, and they can hold us on defense. So everything you do is magnified times 30 when you play Duke. You know what I mean? And I felt like they started to realize that very early in the game. You know what I mean? And they were like, fuck, man, these guys are good. They are as good as advertised. Their defense is amazing. And I think the players even said it. You know what I mean? We haven't seen a defense like this in the Big 12 or Big 10, whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? I haven't seen a defense like that in our league, you know what I mean, our conference, at all. So it kind of, surprised them. And I think that's just what we do, man. And at the end of the day, the result was what it was, man. You know what I mean? Like, if we held, I hate saying if or whatever, but Yaxel had to have a good game for them to even be in the game. And then think about it all, right? Think about this, right? That was a B- game from Duke. If that was an A+ game for Duke, they lose by 30 easily. Easily.
If Isaiah does something better than 5 for 15.
Yeah. Oh my God. If he hit some,
and Isaiah still had a good game, even with the poor shooting.
I mean, he shot poorly, but he did have a good game.
And timely buckets and great defense. Yeah, his growth showed to me quite a bit. Brian, I think you were in the middle of you wanted to say something.
I was going to say Michigan fans were talking about Michigan didn't play up to their average. I'm like, Yeah, they kind of did because Duke played their average defense. Duke averages 63% or 63 points per opponent. How many did Michigan score? 63 points. That's Duke's average defense right there. It had nothing to do with Michigan not playing well. It was Duke played better when it counted. Like Pablo was saying, every possession matters. Look at the 3-point shooting. Michigan shot their normal amount of threes in this game, but look who was shooting them. Cadeau averages 4 shots a game. He shot 6. Yaxel shoots 4 a game. He shot 9. That's when you lost the game right there. The wrong people were shooting too many of them.
Yeah, between the two of them, they're 4 of 15 from 3, and we'll sign up for that all day. You have the right people shooting defensively. And the other thing I think, Brian, is that I think the worst thing that could have happened to Michigan was they saw a couple go down early, and they're like, oh, it's going to be like every other game, until it wasn't.
AC called that too.
It was obvious, right? Like their perimeter, their guards aren't good. They're not good. They're okay. They're mid. Like they hold the team together. They have good skills. They do good. Ellie Cadeau moves the ball well, especially when they're able to play free. Roddy Gale.
When you got an elite front court, it's not hard. All you got to do is hit open shots or shoot the ball when you're open and pass the ball. To the post. It's not really that hard. I mean, I'm not going to downplay them to the point that say that they shouldn't play Division I basketball. They're playing Division I basketball, so they have some semblance of being able to play basketball.
But if you put that backcourt, make that the backcourt for a team like Louisville who doesn't have a post presence. Might be an NCAA tournament team, maybe.
No, hell no.
You know what I mean? Like
they might win their conference tournament if it's a mid major.
Yeah, if they're in the Southland. But I'm just joking. But still, those are high major D1 players. Cool, I get it. Yeah. They're not the type of players on the perimeter that put you over the top. And if people always want to keep screaming about guard play in the NCAA tournament is how you progress, then look at Michigan and look at their guards truthfully and tell me that those are guards you're going to take to a national championship, because I just don't think that they are.
Yeah.
If Michigan was a national title favorite, that would assume that they had at least they were assumed to have the guard play necessary to be able to take them there. And Duke's backcourt outperformed all 5 of them with
look
3
at the guards
people.
If
you unless you count
what's that, Brian?
Which is 4.
I said, look at the guards they have to go against in the Big Ten. I mean, Braden Smith. I mean, great assist man, but I mean, he ain't taking nobody off the dribble.
Right.
Jeremy Fears is, he's decent, but you saw how Duke locked him the hell up. You can
a lot.
Cadeau could be a good guard, great guard in the Big Ten. He can't be a great guard anywhere else. You prove that.
Yeah.
Cadeau's son ACC made about lined up against him and reverted to Hubert form.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. The ACC. A lot is made about how bad the ACC is or whatever. Don't look at me and tell me that the Big Ten is that much better, because the ACC right now has 6 to 7 teams guaranteed into the tournament. Big Ten has 5. Like, don't tell me that they're a better conference than us. All right, like I know we got some teams at the bottom of our conference that are bad. Yeah, I get that. However, that ain't like the top 10 of the ACC clears the Big Ten by a lot. I'm sorry, not sorry. Get out of my face with that shit, man. Get out of my face.
We might be having to have the ACC SEC conversation again in the ACC's favor this year.
Yeah, whatever. I don't care about any of them. Fuck them. Fuck the ACC too, by the way.
I mean, yeah, yes.
Fuck them all. I don't care, man. Look. It's it. Yeah. I don't care about any of y'all. I don't give a fuck about any. Nuclear. I got my face, man. I apologize for the cursing if your kids are listening at home. But y'all should have understood. Y'all asked me to drink the brown on this podcast, so y'all should have understood.
Well, I mean, this is the inverse, right? This is what happens when Duke loses, and we go up against a historically low 1 foul against our opponent, and we lose by 3. We're supposed to just say, hey, take your loss like a man, hold this L. But then when we win, it's the only reason Duke won is because of the refereeing. So I just want to state
Duke
for the record,
more fouls and less free throws.
I just want to, Jack, you're using facts. The facts don't count here. I just want to state for the record, it is good to be back. It is good to be back for Duke. I mean, because that's what you want to hear. Every time we lose, is hold this L every time we win is because of the refs. So I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to be
That's
back.
why I love that dunk at the end of the game by Zay, because that
I
normally
love it.
Duke has to go out and dribble the ball
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
perimeter and do the Hoosiers thing or whatever. Nah, bro, he's put that shit through the rim, put his elbows in the rim. That was beautiful. That
And it
was
was
beautiful. And it should have counted. It cost me money, motherfuckers. It cost me money. Isaiah had 15 and he got 14. Little punk ass little.
I don't think we have spent nearly enough time talking about some individual players, so let's go ahead and do that right now. Jack, you started talking about Nick. I definitely want to talk about him. I also want to give huge shout outs to Big Pat. I thought he played a fantastic game.
Those are
I
my
thought
MVPs.
I thought Dame. I thought he did what was asked of him. I thought he played very well. I thought Foster. I mean, it's a big game, so I expect him to do big things, and he did. Honestly, Cam Boozer, right? So, but let's focus on Nick to start because I thought that's pretty clear that was the best game he's played in the Duke uniform so far.
I mean, I was comparing his defense to Shane Battier in spaces.
Oh my goodness.
Yikes.
Jack was on that Brown on spaces too.
There was a specific context to
Yeah.
it.
Yikes.
DH can vouch for
If I
all of
would have
this.
known that, if I would have known that, if I would have known, if I would have known he was going to say that, if I would have known he was going to say that, I wouldn't have gone to Jack. I would have gone to Jack.
Okay, can I please provide context?
Go ahead, Jack.
So
Say your piece.
Yeah, you
DH
better.
knows exactly what I'm going to say here, which is Shane Battier talked about how he would guard Kobe Bryant.
Mhm.
And what he would do was he noticed Kobe from like a certain spot in the high post would shoot like, I don't know, 65%. But if you move him 18 inches to the left, he's a 21% shooter. So what Battier would do is if Kobe's backing him down, he'd deny him one way and kind of force him into that spot where he's significantly worse shooter, even if it's like a marginal difference in location. It's a tremendous difference, a significant difference in percentage. And Nick was doing things like that, just denying Lendeborg the spot where he wanted to be and making him shoot from a place that might not be that different, but where he was significantly less comfortable scoring, which is something that Shane Battier has discussed doing in his career, both in college and professionally.
Yeah, Jack.
Thank you,
Yaxel,
DH.
Kobe Bryant, Lindeborg, and Nick, Shane Battier, Jimenez. You heard it here first.
You guys understand my comparison now, right? I hope.
Nowhere
I get
else
it.
can you give this kind of analysis.
I love
Nowhere
it, Jack.
else. Nowhere else.
He showed
He's
his
not
work.
wrong though, because
Showed his
Nick was phenomenal defensively. Him and
But that's one
Paz.
of-
I mean, I
that's one of the
haven't
things-
seen. Yeah, go ahead, AC.
That's one of the things Duke's defense does. John Shire is a scout master. Like that was one of the things with him and Jay. What made their synergy so great was he was just able. They were both able to look at tape and say, "You don't like to do this, so we're gonna funnel you to this. Like if you don't want to do that, we're making you do that." Like that's exactly what they did. And that's what they did. That's what they did against Michigan. Man, keep going, bro.
Go ahead, DH.
Oh, I mean, y'all know how I feel about Nick Hamenia, man. Like, it's so much was made over the course of the season, where folks were telling him he needed to transfer, he needed to sit him, get him out of Durham, and it's like. But one thing I knew since I watched him in the U19s over the summertime, when Tommy Lloyd had it out for him apparently and just didn't want to play him over the course of the summer. But every single game where it mattered, he was a closer. He did the same thing in Nike Hoop Summit. I mean, of course, Harvard Westlake, he played all the time because he was one of their main players. But, like, even if he scored 5 points, he made so many winning plays all the time. And, I mean, I wrote in my article over the summer, he just has this trustworthiness factor, this ability to earn the trust of his teammates and his coaches to the point where when it's winning time and you need a guy to go make a winning play, he's got to be on the floor. And I think he showed that at the highest level on Saturday. And I'm extremely happy for him because he had a 4 or 5 game stretch there where it just wasn't working out for him. His shot was, like his shot was off. He was trying to learn a different role. I mean, it takes time and a freshman ball on top of that. And of course, being on a different coast and all those kinds of things that just, humans go through, let alone college freshmen. He has gotten back to what he knows, which is making pit bull basketball plays. Like there's no reason that Nick Kaminia with maybe a 15 to 20 inch vertical is out rebounding your 6'9", 6'11", 7'3" guys, but it's all willpower. It's sheer want to. And the play that he made to like strip the ball like in the first half, I think that for me was the we're gonna punch back moment. Like I think Nick really started out the we're not gonna go quietly type energy when they were up 5 or 7, and it was on the lot where it's the time where Michigan normally puts teams away, and Nick was like, absolutely not, no shot. And I think that really ignited the energy level, and then Pat responded to that, and of course we'll get to Pat. But I mean, Nick having 9 rebounds in this game for a 6'8" guy with decent athleticism, not the longest wingspan, but just sheer effort and want to. I was so happy for him, man. Like that was his best game in a Duke uniform by far for me.
Yeah, it comes down to what John has been looking for over the last couple recruiting classes, and it comes down to dogs, winners. Obviously, you have to have talent, and you have to be a team guy. And you see that obviously with the Boozer twins. We knew their history and their pedigree, and obviously you saw what Cameron did, even with the 4 fouls, and that showed volumes. But Nick was the same. He was on those same USA teams. He was a guy that John was like, yeah, you're Duke material under my leadership. So Brian, like when you looked at this game, and like who else stood out to you? Obviously, we talked about Pat, we talked about Nick a little bit, but take the floor.
Yeah, Caleb, man. Caleb was true ideal Caleb Foster. I loved seeing him. There was no he's never been a guy that puts his head down, even when he's had some tough times. That kid just goes out, gives his heart, to Duke basketball, and he played an outstanding game. I think he had 4 assists, just to 1 turnover, would score like 12 points, I think it was.
Yep.
He was Caleb. He's big game Caleb. He comes and he does what he's supposed to do. People did not like him at the point guard spot earlier in the year. Guess what? He has had, I think, maybe 2 to 3 turnovers in the last 4 to 5 games. I mean, he is
no more than 2. He doesn't get any more than 2.
He's been playing exceptional.
2 games in his whole career, he's had more than 2.
Yeah, 12, 4, and 4.
Yeah, him getting to the basket has changed a lot for Duke, and I think that's something that's happening at the exact right time, going heading into March right now.
And he hits big shots, and he does it in the big games. And Pobbs, obviously we've been on the Caleb Foster bandwagon for a long time. I know that's your guy. I feel like I almost overdo it with talking about his leadership, but that's your world. Leadership is your world. What does he do when the lights are brightest? What is it about him? Brian touched on it a little bit, but what about Caleb Foster to you is what makes him such a great leader?
So before we address that part, let's address what you just said.
Here we go.
So you touched on what exactly? But anyway, I mean, he just steps up, man. I mean, he's just so poised, bro. He's just excellent at blocking out the noise, man. You know what I mean? Like he hears the bullshit, you know what I'm saying? But it doesn't have any kind of effect on him whatsoever. And he's up and down as we go along in the season and shit. But I'll tell you what, man, like when these biggest moments, like against our biggest opponents, he stepped up, man. Like he's against Michigan, he had a great floor game. 12, 4 and 4, 1 turnover, played 27 minutes. And what we need and what we always say is that we need aggressive Caleb. You know what I'm saying? If we got Caleb Foster being aggressive, that makes Duke better. You know what I'm saying? And so him driving to the rim the way he drove to the rim, shooting the ball the way he shot the ball, I mean, it's excellent, And I mean, I think he just fully understands and he's embraced the role of being the leader, of this team. Whether he's the captain, officially, unofficially, it doesn't matter, but he's embraced that role and, he's running with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like he's just so, from the onset of the season. I mean, he's just been ready. Even in the summertime, he started out staying at Duke and just being a leader. Taking classes and on track to graduate early. I mean, he's doing it. He's doing everything. He's leading by example, bro. I mean, some people lead by example. Some people fucking just lead by talking. He's leading by example, and that's the best way to do things. So, salute to Caleb, man. Keep doing what the hell you're doing. And make sure you just go out there and ball out for the rest of the season.
As of right now, he's Duke's best 3-point shooter.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he has that his unique skill. Like, he's skilled in a lot of places. His unique skill is knowing exactly what his team needs. Does his team need me to just play defense tonight and get 3 points? All right, I got it. Do I need to go get 20 like he did against Louisville? Okay, I got it. Like, he and then you can see it with the shots that he hits. Like, in the building, and like you can watch it on TV and watching in the building is definitely different because you can feel like just the energy from the fans and everything around you. And every time like your body gets this like anxious feeling like like something like Michigan could do something with this momentum. Here's another Caleb Foster 3 or a bucket at the basket or whatever or a defensive stop or an assist to the right spot on the floor. Like, every time the momentum would almost shift, there was a Caleb Foster play that happened, and then it's right back in Duke's favor. Like, he just has that innate ability. Whether he's a veteran and has been through it now, or it's just who he is as a player, as a man, as a person. Like, whatever it is, there's some people who don't have that skill. They just don't have the feel. Coach K called it the verve, all that. Like, some people have it, some players have it, and then there's some players who don't. And in your fourth option on offense, like, down the line and all that, like, to have that ability and have that at that low, that far down in your roster, that means your roster is really freaking good.
Well, that's Duke's weakness, is that we don't know who Duke's fifth and sixth option are.
Yeah, our seventh guy. If we can solidify that seventh man, maybe we have a shot.
If
maybe
we know who the 10th scorer is,
because all they got to do is hold Cam Boozer to 10
man.
turnovers and 5 points on 28 shots. That's all you have to do.
Once Cam does something
Make
he
it
hasn't
sound
done all
so
season,
easy.
it's over for Duke.
They make it sound so easy, like you can just do this to Cam. When has it happened to Cam Boozer?
His season low is 14. His season low in rebounding is, I think, 8, and his season
He also
low
had
in
9
assists is
assists
2.
on that 14-point game. He had 9 assists that game. Like, all you got to do is just make sure he doesn't affect the game. Like, that's all you got to do.
All. We talked about Verve, AC, and I'm gonna cut in here. TK, is that speaking of Verve, I thought that Caden had a great second. Like, there was a span there when Duke was like didn't have a lot going offensively, and the way that Caden just got downhill and made great decisions and didn't panic, like the lob to Pat when he got Mara to come over and commit to taking him away from the rim, and then the same thing happened again on the dribble handoff, a staggered dribble handoff. He got downhill and did the dump off pass to Pat. Like, those two plays I think were monumental for Caden. We're talking about the point guard position, right? And like the ability to make effective plays when it matters the most, particularly in March, and how Duke doesn't have it. Caden didn't like Caleb. It was a Caleb game, obviously, but Caden didn't allow that to keep him from being effective in the time that he got. And I thought that was really, really important for Duke moving forward, because again, like, all 8 guys that touched the floor made positive plays. Like, they made really positive plays, and it was a full team effort, even if it didn't look the same across the board. So I have to give Caden a lot of credit in that way too.
3 assists, 0 turnovers.
Yeah, and for a guy who scored 0 points, Brian, I thought he played an excellent 4 game. And it was a great change of pace and one that we needed, like DH pointed out there. And before we transition to the next 2 games, Malik Brown, I give him a shout out too. I thought Malik defensively, they don't see that in the Big Ten either. So I thought Malik Brown, does what he does, and in a big game like that, it's great for him to step up, get the deflection. He's got a couple steals, a block. Having a guy like Malik Brown come off your bench and be one of the best defenders in the country, you're not going to see that against anybody else. So Duke's defense travels, and it's going to need to travel to South Bend, because you come off a game that obviously the entire world of college basketball is watching, and you're going against the number 1 team in the country, and now you're going all the way down and you're playing
Come
just
on,
a
man. You
garbage
AJ down,
team.
bro.
You know, it's
Justice for Mike Bray.
yeah. I don't know. DH. I know you and I have gone back and forth on the Discord about this game because you brought it up. Human nature is telling you that we're going to have a letdown here. My thinking
Not so
is,
much that. I think that it is human nature to have a letdown, but this team has passed every maturity test it's had all year. Every trap game, every Monday, every Saturday, Monday turnaround, every like they have found ways to do it. And my hope and my expectation is that because you're not dealing with a chip on your shoulder or like you're the big dog now, and so when you're dealing with that and you're dealing with a team who literally has nothing to lose, they're
Yeah.
down two of their best players. They have a couple guys that can get hot from three and create their own shots. And you're dealing with the Duke team off of an emotional high, and is the number one team in the country now. It had a knockdown, drag out fight with the number one team in the country still, by a lot of metrics. This is the kind of game, and knowing that you have a championship caliber game coming up on Saturday, this is another opportunity for Duke to show that it's mature, right? And of course, you hope in February that you get that, late February that you get that. I just know that Duke's going to have to be intentional about that maturity in order to have the result that all of us would hope that they do and that they'll feel comfortable with. So I don't think
Yep.
it's going to happen necessarily, but I just hope that they pay attention to that kind of thing.
I think to that point, Brian, one of the things that I actually really loved that John Shire did was just go straight to Chicago. Go straight to Chicago, show them your roots and, do like a team bonding situation, kind of get it away from basketball for a minute. And hopefully that allows them to refocus. To me, that was kind of a really, really heady move by John.
I was going to say the same exact thing. I think that was very intentional, from him. I think they practice at the Bulls practice place. I think all of that was intentional, and I think it's John sort of being ahead of the curve when it comes to prepping a team that he knows he's coaching against human nature right now. And I think things like that, instead of just going straight to Northern Indiana where there's nothing but yeah. But yeah, I think that was a very wise move by John to do that. Shout out Indiana.
Well, we're hoping to be back in Indiana again in a few weeks. So, Indiana's been a place we've found a lot of success. So, but keeping it here in South Bend, AC, let's do a little rapid fire here. Get a couple predictions, and then let's focus on the UVA game. So I'll go with you first. Give me a prediction for the Notre Dame.
Duke's gonna go into the Joyce Center and win by like 40, like 89-49. Man, like they lost Jalen Harrelson. They don't have Marcus Burton. They're trying to hold it together with bubble gum and scotch tape. Man, Serta's the dude who's trying to score for them, and yeah, all right. So their only hope is that we had too much deep dish pizza before the game, because that and drank some water out the Chicago River, the Michigan River, whatever, man. Because fuck, 89-49.
Jack, what do you got?
77-52. I think that Shrewsbury was an awful hire for them, and it's really showing this year. It really sucks. I have a friend who played for Shrewsbury and really likes him a lot, so it really sucks to see this going this way, but oh well. They are awful. Remember when they were good? Remember when they almost beat undefeated Kentucky in the Elite Eight?
They did beat them. Talk about bad refereeing.
They should have. That was atrocious.
Yeah.
But that team that beat Duke 2 out of 3 times they played that year? Yeah. Remember when they were that good?
Nope.
That was a long time ago, Jack. I was back in your day, man. DH, what do you got?
I got something like 79-63, something like that. Closer than we'd hope, but still comfortable.
Brian, what do you got?
I'm similar to DH, like 80, 65, 15-point range. I think Duke will probably give up some stuff early and then wait a minute, we got a game tonight. And then, when it's over.
Yeah.
Pops?
105-5.
All right.
Just complete obliteration. I mean, we're gonna win by 40, straight up.
Yeah.
Well, that's a little more than 40, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. I think it's going to be.
That's a lot more than 40.
I think it's going to be a bloodbath. I think it's going to be 84 to 54. I think that's probably. I like that 54 number that we tend to give up. So 84-54 to me. And then Jack, you're going to be in the building Saturday, right? In
Yes, I
Cameron
am.
Indoor Stadium, unless we get some kind of unexpected blizzard again.
I
So
already had my blizzard quota for the week today.
Right.
So
Right. So so we got UVA. This is basically for the conference here. So how do you see this game playing out? Number 11 in
Well,
the country.
I see it playing out well for Duke. I mean, Virginia.
Who's number 11 in
Odom,
the country?
UVA.
Virginia.
Yeah.
Oh,
Odom is a fantastic coach. I don't think that I don't think I have to say that. We know what he did to UVA when he was the coach at UMBC. We know who his dad is, Dave Odom. I have commented multiple times on how nice it is to have a member of the Odom family back in the ACC.
Yeah.
I think he's doing a fantastic job at Virginia. I still think Duke wins this game. I think Duke wins this game by no less than 7 points. It's going to be a really good one, though, and I'm excited to have the opportunity to be in the building.
DH, what do you got?
I got like 73-65, something like that. Something like that.
You guys think it's going to be a little closer than I do?
I mean, they're top 30 offense and defense. I mean, I think that Duke gets up. I think Duke will probably get up for it. So, like, I think defensively they'll probably be fine. I still think it has some kinks to work out, like offensively, particularly with shooting. You heard me. And so, you know, I think that UVA will be excited for that game, especially, you know, Duke coming in with the number 1 next to his name. I think they're going to be looking to increase their seeding. I think that it's one of those human, like, competitive games where I think Duke probably wins between 8 to 10 points. And I don't know if Duke, because of Virginia's defense, gets to 80, but it doesn't mean they're not effective. That's my thought process, at least.
yeah, like 3 pauses in there, bro.
Listen, man.
Oh, I didn't say an actual score prediction.
Okay, go ahead, Jack.
Blame the Brown brother.
78 to 68.
78-68. All right, Pop, what do you got?
I'm gonna go with 200 to. No, I'm just messing with you. Nah. I think that's when. Honestly, I think Duke gonna win by like 15. I don't know. I say like 75, 60.
I'm kind of on the same path as Pops here. I for some reason I just think we just
I
dominate.
mean, UVA is tough. I'll be honest.
They're
tough,
good.
man.
They're
tough.
good. Like I'm not
Tough.
saying they're not
I don't know
good,
if they
but
got the pause. I don't know if they got the size to compete with us. You know what I'm saying? But you know, they definitely will come out gunning. They got a good wing. They got a good guard. And they got a good point guard. They got a good backup point guard. You know, and DeRitter is a beast. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I think Cam is going. You know, he gonna kill him, but it ain't gonna be easy. You know what I'm saying? I think DeRitter is gonna fight. You know what I mean? DeRitter is very skilled. He's like a bigger Nick Hemania, you know what I'm saying? And a little more skilled, a little more offensive minded Hemania. You know what I mean? He's gonna play hard, he's gonna play defense, he's gonna do all that shit. He's probably gonna get a couple flagrant fouls here and there. He's gonna do all that, you know what I mean? But you know, as he goes, Virginia goes. So we just gotta play our game, man, and just stay solid and we'll be all right. Just no letdowns, man. Just no letdowns.
Yeah, I think it's the second to last home game of the year, so I don't expect any letdown from Duke. I think that we go out there. I think it will be. Yeah, I kind of like that score, 77 to 60. I'll go with that as well. Brian, what do you got?
I think 75, 65. The only thing that worries me about UVA is their age, man. They're so old. I mean, their average age is 22.2. Duke's 19.6. They got a 23-year-old freshman, and Malik Thomas is 24. Dalen Hall's 23. They got some age on them. I don't think they're going to get rattled. So I think Duke has to be present for this game. They can't just phone it in. So I think it'll be a 10-point game.
All right, AC, what do you got for a prediction here?
Really good team. There's a reason they're 11. Ryan Odom, ACC Coach of the Year. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's this is like VCU, but with some more skilled dudes, and because they play that defense like VCU, but then they score points too, so they're able to score. So, but their last month and a half, almost 2 months, like they're used to giving up only 50, 47, 61 points like that. Like Duke is gonna score more. Duke's gonna be in the 70s, and they're not comfortable in those games in the 70s. Because you put a lot of pressure on their guys to score, which they have scores. They have scores. They have guys who are willing to score, but game pressure on them has this year been difficult for UVA. So I think we're going to win the game. I don't think it's going to be an upset scenario. I have it at like an 8-point victory. I think Vegas will probably have us at like 6.5, maybe 5.5. I think we'll win by 8, 78-70. But they're a really good team, man. They're going to give a lot of teams hell in the tournament. I think this is a good test for Duke.
Yeah. All right. So there we go. We got a couple games coming up here. Obviously, a big win.
Don't forget NC State.
Oh, that's why we got to do NC State this one too. Okay, so we got to go at NC State. My bad on that line. Even though I said it before the show, we should do it. Okay, so quick. This is going to be an interesting game, right? Because all the triangle belts that are flying back and forth between Chapel Hill and Raleigh, and now in Durham. I don't even know.
One?
I don't even know. I think we hold off until we complete the triangle. But, DH, you said you're going to be there, so I'm going to be the first crack of the whip on this one.
That is a terrible reference. During Black History Month.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's wild as hell. That's wild as hell to say to a black man. That's crazy.
Are you the bastards?
Listen, I'm Django. I'm the one with the whip now.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Let's see. I'll go. I watched a lot of State this year because I have family ties to State. State is one of those teams that's gonna really be up for this game. They're gonna talk a lot of shit.
You got family ties to State?
Yeah, my.
You're gonna put your ass on the Amistad.
I got family at that works there. But I think Duke gets this one done. I think Duke gets this because they don't defend not really well. They have guards that don't want to guard, and they gamble a lot. And I think for a team that's as secure with the basketball as Duke is, I think Duke can be able to take advantage of that. They don't have any size. Van Allen Lubin is okay, but he's not going to be able to handle Cam. They don't have any size on off their bench. So I say Duke is going to probably win that game like 84 to like 72, something like that. Because they can shoot tough. They shoot tough contested shots. Paul McNeil versus Isaiah Evans. It's going to be box office. So I think 84-72 is my guess.
84
in Lenovo.
AC, what do you
got? It's interesting because they have a chance to really, really solidify their resume. They're going to be jazzed up for this game. I think what DH is saying is exactly right. Like if there's a problem with them, it's their defense, especially on the perimeter. But I picked this game as a loss to begin the season, so I'm going to stick with it. And say 70 us. 72, them 77. But the key to us winning this game, if we're gonna win in Raleigh, the key to us winning this game is our guards taking advantage of their guys on defense. Like if we're able to take advantage of their guys defensively, then we're golden. And Darian Williams, is he hurt? Because he only played like 16 minutes against UNC. Was that just because they were blowing him out, or what was going on with him with that?
He ended up hitting his face on the floor. He fell. He hit his face on the floor.
Like stitches.
Got stitches.
He got stitches. Yeah, I was at the game too.
Okay. So so kind of seeing his minute distribution against UVA tomorrow is going to tell a lot about where he is and if he's ready for that game on Saturday. After that, so yeah, I'm sure he will be. But yeah, it's just he's the key to them, and Kadir Copeland is really steps up for them.
Dami versus Kadir is going to be the matchup. Can Dami slow down Kadir? And luckily, we have a 6'7" guy who with length who can battle him instead of guarding with a 6'3" dude, which is what he's used to. I think that's our primary advantage. Is why I think we probably can win this game because he's used to playing against guys that are, he's given up. He's much taller than and longer than, and Dami's not going to be that.
Last time Copeland was in Cameron, he stomped on the Duke logo before the
He's
game.
gonna. Yeah.
Our good friend Dylan apparently yelled at him to the point that Malik Brown remembered it when he came to Durham and like walked up to him and talked to him about it. Also, that was the game Malik had 26. So if Malik can have 26 this time when Copeland is in Durham, I'd like that a lot. I had to point both of those things out because I just remember Copeland.
Too bad we won't be in Durham though.
Oh, you're right. Anyway, it was the last time he played Duke. I totally forgot. This is only alternating. Anyway, last time he played Duke.
Welcome to the show, Jack.
It's
Incredible Hulks.
I literally in my head was like, "This is a road game," and then I said that. So
It's all good. Jack. He said his knock, you got, I got you.
anyway,
road game
last
for
time
Jack,
he
though.
played Duke, he stomped on the Duke logo.
Yes.
Malik put up 26 points.
Yep.
And Copeland put up 6. I would love for a repeat of both of those scoring events.
Yep.
But I think this game's going to be closer than it should be, but I think Duke wins it.
I think if Malik scores 26, at least DH's prediction of him averaging 7 might get a little bit closer.
man.
So,
He's at what, 5.5 now?
yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
my-
26 will put him at
that-
7.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
where I'm not gonna look. I'm right. And that's one thing I do. Not
Okay, I wasn't on the thesis this evening.
That was not my thesis, no. It was on my manifesto.
Pops, what do you got for this game?
I think I don't know. I'm trying to think of the most ridiculous shit I could say possible right now.
That's honest.
Nah, I think we win. I think it's gonna be a 20-25 point game. Easy 20 ball. Easy.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Yo, that's
At
not
Duke's
crazy
best-
though.
No, at Duke's best, they should be able to handle State, but just we just have some.
I only say
strong-
no. I say that because I think NC State is probably one of the most undisciplined teams in the NCAA.
I agree with that.
You know what I'm saying? I
True.
think they're
So
the
hard
team
to
that
watch.
walk in
I
the
agree
gym
with that.
that got the fly gear on and shit like that. But then when they play a good team, they look like straight ass.
They're the team
Like
in the
Cade
beginning.
Tyson?
They're the team in the beginning of Coach Carter before he came and stepped
Real
to
rap.
the gym.
Real rap.
Before he made him run lines,
Real
do
rap.
push-ups.
So and that's my thing. I just think that they so
Timo Cruz in there.
Timo Cruz.
they just do some of the stupidest shit I've ever seen in my life, man. On the court, I'm just like, you guys have a chance to win, and they'll like do some crazy shit, then the ball go out of bounds, and I'm just like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? So it's just weird, man, how they play. You know what I mean? I thought when they put the team together that they would be good. Obviously, they don't have any size, pause. You know what I'm saying? In the front court, so I mean, that's barbecue chicken right there. I'm not even worried about that. You know what I mean? But only person I think could even remotely hurt us is Paul McNeil
Paul
and
McNeil
Quadir
shooting that
Copeland.
thing,
That's
boy.
it. But I think Dame gonna have Quadir Copeland in fucking Rikers Island. So
Mhm.
I don't think he's gonna be able to do anything.
Better.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So it's like it is what it is. And Paul McNeil, you know, I mean, he might get some shit off every now and then. Pause. You know what I'm saying? But I think him and Isaiah is really gonna be. It's gonna be fun to
Box
watch.
office.
But
Box office.
you know, they got guys who just gonna shoot the ball, and I just think they play with no purpose. Man, that's basically what I'm trying to say. They play with no purpose. They hope they win, but they know they don't really have a fucking chance. And then you got Van Allen Lubin. He's so cheeks that I'm just like, I don't even know what to say, man. So
And the thing about
Duke by
State is-
25 ball.
Honestly,
Easy.
though, like what you're saying is it's either gonna be we lose the
Uh-huh.
game because they
Right.
get it together with motivation, or
Shoot,
they lose
and
by
they hit
20
like
because exactly
15
what you're
threes.
saying. I don't
They'll
think
be
there's an in
motivated
between.
to play. They'll be motivated
I
to
don't-
play, but I just think that
Yeah.
they are not a connected group over there.
Sure.
Is what I'm saying. I don't think that they're
Yeah.
connected enough to compete with a team like Duke, and especially when we put this defense on their ass, they're gonna be like, "Yo, we don't know what the fuck." So they might just give up. I don't even know, man. That's the type of
We're
team
gonna
that they are.
do-
I can see
Yeah.
We're gonna
North
do
Carolina
that,
State
Pablo.
doing some shit
What are we
like
gonna
that.
do?
They just like don't come back out after half or some shit. Like, hey, we just don't want to play anymore. You know what I'm saying? That's the whack they are. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm just like, oh, okay, that's a new one. So
Yo.
All right. Well, Brian, I'm not going to make you follow that up. I'll go. I do agree with AC here, where it's either going to be one or the other, but I kind of skew toward what AC said. Like, I can see this game being sandwiched between the UBA game and then the Carolina game, and saying, you know, perfect world for NC State. They come out firing. They hit a few. The Lenovo Center is going nuts. I can see us losing a tight game there and it being like 74-72. I hope I'm wrong, obviously. This could be the last Duke loss
You
of
are.
the year, too. And I hope I am wrong. But, Brian, I'll give you the last word on the prediction here before we close up shop. Tell everybody where they can find you, obviously. And thank you for bearing with us. There was a lot of content tonight.
I'm still laughing about
It's,
you got Kadir Copeland doing like backflips out the gym, heading to the bus. Wade's like, "What are you doing?" I'm going home.
Real.
Oh God!
Average experience with Pablo on the 5 Point Play podcast.
I say Duke takes it, but it's a 6 to 8 point game. 72-64 or 7. Yeah, is that 8?
Yeah.
Whatever 8 is.
That is
72, whatever 8 is, and then it's close, and Duke has to fight back to win it.
all right, well, Brian, appreciate you joining us. This has been a hell of a show, but we're not done yet, AC. Go ahead, take the mic.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to just make sure that our friends out there in Michigan land were well represented, because they hit me with some good stuff online. Let me share my screen here.
Oh, Lord.
We got some great things
Oh, my God.
past couple of days. Shouts to Underwood Unleashed. Can y'all see the screen?
Oh, that is just the
yeah.
best tweet ever.
I'm sick and tired of hearing about the Duke defense. You play in a conference full of scrubs holding Pitt Syracuse to 50 doesn't move the needle for us. Florida State scored 87. Georgia Tech scored 79. Texas Tech scored 82. All of them bitches scored more than y'all.
Texas Tech was not at Duke also. Just
Right, also not at Duke. So
just football
facts
account
don't
to
matter.
learn.
Yeah, football account. He's got CTE, clearly. We got Michigan medal. Call me an unbiased fan or biased fan, but I think Michigan's going to beat Duke by 15. Ugh, sorry, bro. That didn't happen.
Durable.
He knows what he did. He came back and apologized later. Of course, we got the Coach Gay falling out. Feed me. Motherfucker,
That
you
was
starved. That
30
brother-
years
like,
ago.
Like Denzel Washington said, Malcolm X, that brother's starving because we ain't feed
brother's
nothing. Shut the
starving.
fuck up. We got Swig's picks. Michigan #1 plays Duke #3 on the neutral court. They win by 20. Hate to see it, man. That 2.5 works really well for Duke, by the way. Swig's picks if you want to actually make money and get rid of that Burger King crown. Jesus Christ. I'm not even gonna give Matt Norlander time.
No,
Fuck that
I
dude.
refused to when he tried to collab with me on IG after the game.
Only Ohio things
Are
Duke's gonna
we?
win.
North
That's
Carolina
nasty.
literally exists, and Duke is there, and they have a fan base.
They were just saying who
Also,
thought
they
that Duke
missed.
would actually win the
Nah,
game.
they
Yeah.
missed an opportunity to put New Jersey there if they wanted to diss us.
We got a dad and a son right here. This was nice to see, a family picture, family photo. Father, son, all right, and the Holy Ghost, because y'all need that shit to try to beat us. I'm not even going to give these clowns. This is all my bookmarks. This is all the Michigan stuff.
Yo,
He's
ask
getting
Jalen
cooked right now,
Rose.
yep.
Ask Jalen Rose what happened when he played Michigan, or when he played for Michigan and they played Duke.
Correct.
Doesn't matter which time.
If
Just
Cadeau
ask
has a
him.
normal offensive night, Michigan wins by 7. Little did
Yo,
you know
AC,
that this
like
is
that
what.
tweet. Like that tweet.
Yeah, this is what a normal night is for Elliot Cadeau. I don't know who this dude
It's
is.
nasty.
Varsity
I remember
versus
seeing this one,
JV. Sheesh. You're right. It was varsity versus JV, and we beat the shit out of the JV team. Shout out to Duke men's basketball, by the way. Every bucket. Let me get to the last one. This is the last one because I just wanted to get to Underwood Unleashed was on fire too. Ellie Cadeau's mama's out there in the world somewhere. But finally, I want to get to Johnny Matrix. If I wanted to, I could end your worthless life. This is over a gift, by the way. This dude is talking about killing somebody over a
End your
gift. But listen,
worthless life. Jesus.
listen, if you did end my life, guess what? You bitches still lost. So, salute. So what? Motherfucker out of here. Let's get out of here, TK. Jack, take us away.
Oh, God. Thank you guys for watching the 5 Point Play podcast. I don't know how to follow that one up. Subscribe anywhere you find your podcasts. Make sure to subscribe on YouTube, of course. Follow on IG, Twitter. We have a free and a premium Patreon. Discord access comes with both. There's a free and a premium tier to the Discord that comes with each Patreon level. Email us any questions, anything you want to say to us. If you think that Michigan should have beat Duke, and there should be a do-over game, even if you want to say that. You hit us with the email, 5pointplaypodcast@gmail.com. Thank you to Brian for being here. You guys know what it is, as always. Let's go, Duke.
Let's go,
Let's
Duke.
go, Duke.
Let's go,
Let's go
Duke.
do, baby.
Yo.